Hello everyone and welcome to a very brief tutorial video. We are going to talk about building itself. I got a million questions. I didn't want to do this, but you guys keep asking, so I thought, okay, I'd take the few minutes and guide you through this. So first things first, we are only talking about construction, nothing else. Construction, like building, shortcuts, how you do building, how you are quicker at building, and how it actually works. So first of all, let's go into the tab. And in the tab you can see there are different menus. You have like everything all, you've got architecture, lights, science, blah 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 and so on. And within each of these tabs you have further sub-tabs that do guide you into the things. First things first, there are different items. So if we go into wall items, for example, you see one item that has this kind of hashtag in the left upper corner, you know, and there are also pieces, not in this tab, but in general, like over here, that don't have it. So the reason why I'm pointing that out is pretty interesting to understand and how the game works. So these grid pieces, if you plop them down, you just choose them and it shows you this orange grid, right? So this is a 6 square grid, it's a 3x2 grid. If you plop this down, you can see it immediately creates a group which you're editing in. You can see this by the yellow outline you have on the screen to the left and to the right. In this building, on the grid, you can only move pieces 90-degree angle. So either I have it this angle or I have it this angle. You hit the Y key, or for you, English keyboard is the Z key, then you rotate this piece by 90 degrees. You just plop it down, it's built. You can see this is the grid. At the moment the grid uses 4x4 meters, but you can just change it down here. On the right hand side, there you have this tab over here. You have some options, flatten terrain. This is when you are building on an area which is not flat. It's a very handy new option that it automatically flattens the terrain and doesn't move it up or down, so you have always the same level. That's pretty cool. But you can change the grid size from 4 meter to 2 meter, and you can change the grid size for the height also to 0. That means if you just move it around, you can see there's only a grid of 2 meters now. That means you can move the whole thing in a smaller range, which is pretty great because then you can make more intricate buildings. So if I want to put this now in here, and we just have this square little thing over here. But if we want to build this higher, we hold down shift. It's very important to hold down shift, and then you can rise it. And you can see it's going in very small steps because I put this down to 0. If I put it higher, for example, to 4 meters, you can see it's immediately going 1 step up. I don't even have some middle steps or whatever. It's pretty easy, so you can build like higher walls pretty quickly. That's it. Okay, so once we did this, there's also always the shortcut Control Z or Control Y, which is undo and redo setting. This is one of the best things you ever use. If you Control Z, it's obviously undo. If you Control Y, it's redo. It's pretty easy, pretty that simple. But now you want to know, how do I move around things? Okay, let's first of all do this for the grid pieces. We are only talking still about the grid pieces. You can easily drag your mouse over the pieces. You can see this is easy. I'm just dragging my mouse, nothing else happening, and now I just leave it here and you can see all of those are highlighted. Now there is a way to copy them on top here. You can just click this Control D, it tells you also, but you want to duplicate this, so you hold down Control and hit D and it automatically creates a duplicate, and you can just move it along the grid how you would expect it to happen. So we're going to put this down here. Great. Okay, this has been done. Easy. Good. Now let's talk about the non-grid pieces. We're going into columns now, and you can see all these columns have no grid option. So what happens now if I take one of those? Let me just take this big roundish plaster pillar 4 meter. You can see I can move it completely free on the ground, and it even ticks to the wall, it goes to the wall up. So there are also some options in here to consider. So first of all, you have the position snap rotation. That is, if you position snap it somewhere, it won't change the rotation. So it's always in the correct kind of rotation. If you say position snap or align to surface, it always aligns to the surface you are pointing at. As you can see, at the moment, it points always into the direction that the wall is guiding the axis to. You can also change this. If you don't want to click down here all the time, you can also hit V on the keyboard. V is the shortcut which changes that. You can see now I hit V, it doesn't change again. If I hit V again, it plop automatically goes to the ground. So that's it. So, but how you put them down? So first of all, you can just tuck that to a wall. I'm just simply doing it now like this. Boom. You have another one. But if you want to move this now on the axis and you don't want to make it like, if you do it by hand, I'm just changing another one, it's pretty hard to get the same height, right? It works, but it's not perfect, you know. There's an easier way of doing it. By the way, just right click the things and you delete them. If you just highlight this again, it gives you some more options on here. So you have the move option, which is by pressing M. I'm not doing this now. There is a advanced move rotate, which is X. This is interesting. And you have the duplicate, which is Control D again. But you have another duplicate option, which is Control X. I know there are a few things, but now the only thing you have to keep in mind, move and duplicate with Control and M is always without sticking to the position. If I hit M, for example, you can see it goes to my mouse, nothing happens. If I hit Control D, it copies the thing to my mouse actually. So these things are M and Control D, always copy it to your cursor. If you don't want to have this, if you want to move this along the axis as it actually is, you have X, and then it opens this axis tool, which we call Gizmo as well. And you can use this to move it along this axis, or this axis, or actually this axis. So if you don't want to have this, just click Control Z again, it's back in position. Now, what if you want to duplicate this, but you don't want to have it at your cursor, you want to duplicate it from its original position, you hit Control and X, and then you can see it seems like the same thing, but if I move it out, you can see it duplicated it, but it kept it in the same position. That's pretty interesting, because then you can also make some easier kind of a building. So if I just move it over here, there we go, and we have built this. Way more easy, way more precise, and it's super easy to do. Now, as we have the basics, we can just go in. You have roof pieces, right? You can use the roof pieces exactly the same. Here you can see in this tab you have different pieces. You have some grid pieces again and non-grid pieces. Let's just give this thing a roof. At the moment, it's not, it's not going automatically because I disabled the align to surface one. On the auto stacking is also something which is interesting. If you hit the auto stacking, which has no shortcut, I'm afraid, it automatically always puts it on top of an existing scenery. As you can see, if there's a wall, it automatically sees where to put it. If I go next to it, it's down to the bottom. If I go up, it's here. You can see it's easily working. Okay, so now let's disable the auto stacking for a second, because then we can also move it a bit more inwards. Here we go, 1 and 2. So this is in here, it's easy, you've done it. But now if you want some more detail, you can always go in and have these freeform pieces. I used to just go in and kind of, if I create like a little bit of a roof piece, could be like a backstage thing we do like this, and if you want to have something else on the other one, you can just duplicate this and go in. Some of the pieces can change the color, some others don't. So for example, I think I just only use pieces that do not change the color. Oh, the pillar does change the color. So you can just go in here and change the color to whatever color you want from the color picker, or just use some of the prefab ones. Anyway, so this has been done. You can also, as always, also redo the action. From now on, it's all down to your creativity, guys. Now you can go in and do whatever you want with the game. You can just create some more details to it, like just giving it this little yeah, whatever, just a little bit of depth to it. You can also tuck some doors on. They have like doors and window tab. We can just go in and like this little door, even though it's not really fitting. Let's get a door in that is somehow fitting. It's kind of a, wow, that's like a garage. I want to have this like jank door over here, so plop it down. Also the double door goes in here. You can also use the roofs always as wonderful flat ground pieces. I'm just going to quickly do the plaster here. Change this to 0 so I can move it really close to the ground. Here we go, and just have this little building done so far. And then, there are a lot of pieces you can use. There are some center pieces. You could also go in and create some stuff now with the pieces over here. I just, I don't like these things. I can just plop them whatever. You can see I still have the auto stacking on. Sometimes I don't want it, so I hit V again to make sure that I have like free control over this, because then I can also do stuff like that. It doesn't fit the way I wanted it, but I could do it like so. Like we have a little corner piece, looks not nice, but it's just for the sake of showing. It kind of works. We can also have like this fountain down here in the middle. I don't even know what this building is. It's just for showing you guys how the stuff works. But yeah, different pieces. You can use all of these different things in the park. We've got some fencing options. You can always move things into each other. Intersecting and using the full area and the full glory of the pieces is very welcome. You really want to do this, because that's how you create a better looking item or whatever. Yeah, there's not much more I can tell you. I mean, let's put some light sources to it, because light always makes the whole thing look even better. You can just click that here to the corner. It's more or less like a little backstage area here. You can always look for some other stuff which might be interesting to look in this area. I don't know if there's anything else we can use here. But yeah, so this is all you have in the building tab. What I would also recommend is you have some pieces here in the facility you can sometimes use. I don't even know is there anything. Yeah, you can use the education things as screens, obviously also on these ones, so they are not restricted. Hello? Okay, so you can see I can use it if I want. I mean, there's obviously no animal here, so it doesn't make sense. But if you want to have a screen, can I actually put something else on here? No, I can't. Okay. You can always use these things as well. They don't do anything for you here, but it works. However, you can match a building always with foliage as well. So you can just grab foliage from the scenery tab, and then you can just put all the amazing scenery and the nature in, because they are also treated as pieces that belong into a building. So if I put down now a tree, it's like this one over here, and the smaller blossom tree, actually a bigger one. We can just put that behind this one. Here we go. It doesn't look nice at all, but you know, that's what it is. So I've done the building. As you can see, it is highlighted as one building. Now, once you've done this, it's a group. You can group the thing to tutorial. I should be able to type. Okay, then the thing is called tutorial, and you can easily copy this the same way actually. Control D makes it exactly this one. Control X does copy it from the original position. So pretty easy. Just keep in mind these two commands are by far the most important one. Control D, Control X. Actually, I'm always using Control X. It always gives me a bit more control over where I want to put the things. But yeah, that's already it. I hope this was useful for you guys. Obviously, I'm going to make a more professional one for the final version of the game, even though I don't know if things will be changed or whatever. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial. I hope it was helpful. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any more questions. I'm eager to answer them. And yeah, see you in the next one. Until then, have a great evening, guys, and bye-bye. Alrighty guys, thank you for watching this video. I really do appreciate that. As always, make sure to check out also my social media channels. You can find me everywhere under @Rennkamel. Also, big thanks to the crew. You can see it on the left hand side right now. And as always, if you want to see more, you click that card on the top right. And if you want to stick around because you like the stuff you've just saw, whatever, you know what I mean, just click the sub button, which is to the bottom right of the screen right now. But everything else I can say is have a great time and see you next time. Bye guys.